Hello, everyone. Welcome to Harv's World. Yes, we're off to a lovely, lovely, rough start. I'm here with SharCo and Caveman as usual. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
And we just had a baler malfunction, so I had to send it back to the shop. We were all set up. You know how we usually do. We've got our work going already, and well, the baler jacked up on us. So oh my God! It stole a hundred liters of Bonsilage from me too when I reset it. That's not good.
Oh no.
That stuff is expensive.
Is.
That's all right. How full are you guys after one pass?
20%.
Oh, good. Okay, oats don't do a lot, so I can get some baling done. Let's make sure that we are set up 220, 240. That's what we want, 240. So how's everybody doing? Matthew Albert, Eric Kuntz, Rob, David Smith, Gary Robertson, Bruce Salter, Mr. Swede, and Graham Pierce. How's the wild world treating you? It's been an interesting start so far, if you want to call it that. Technical difficulties all across the board, so nothing we're going to get into. Nothing worth even discussing, to be honest. But yeah, not off to the grandest start. So we'll make do. We always do. And yeah, we've got a special chore lined up for SharCo today. A very special chore that we can use to get him to start working off some of that cash that he lost in the Yukon. Well, he says he didn't lose it, but we know the truth. Matthew Albert, good. I'm glad to hear it. Drew Casa, welcome to the stream. Kevin, our illustrious moderator, is in the house. Outstanding, absolutely outstanding. Your game keeps crashing, Graham. 19 or 22? FS19 or FS22 keeps crashing. And have you installed any mods recently? That's the real question. Have you installed any mods? Because if you've got mods installed, that could make a difference. 282 hours, 180 contracts, 3 million in the bank. Wow.
Yeah.
And still going strong. You go, Eric. Are you using, Eric, are you using like the Better Contracts mod or anything like that to make sure that you've always got decent contracts to do, or to help get more decent contracts? Oh, there you go, Bruce. Farming in the NFL. That sounds like a good combination.
The 22 is always crash when quitting. That's just a bug that is, no matter how many mods or no mods, it will just do.
That's true. I guess it
Yeah.
depends. When is it crashing is the question, I suppose. Is it crashing while you're playing, or is it crashing when you try to quit out?
If it's crashing when you try to quit out, it's a known bug with the game, and Giants said they're trying to fix it.
Yep. If it's crashing while you're playing, I'd start checking your log. Well, you should check your log file anyway to see if you're getting any errors. That's the first place to go when you're having a crash problem. Are you guys full yet?
60.
61%.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Graham, that's just a common thing. It happens to everybody.
You could have no mods installed and it'll still happen.
I don't notice it that much because honestly, I Alt F4 out of the game. Because I don't want it to restart. I don't want to go to the main menu. I just want the game to quit. And there's no option to make the game just quit. Yeah, Eric, in FS22, that's a common thing. It just is. But I think you're still playing 19, so couldn't say unless they've done some kind of a patch to 19 that that is causing the same thing to happen as is happening on 22. How do you get rid of the leafy green bushes? Paint over them, maybe?
Paint or plow. Should delete almost anything.
Yeah, if you just want grass there. And yeah, a plow should take them out too. Oh, you want the sync, the game sync on Steam. And when the game crashes out, it's not giving you that. There is no way, Eric. There's no way to change your helper names that I'm aware of. Caveman in 19, do you know if there was a way to go from A, B, C helper names to, or helpers to actual named helpers?
Is the way you hire
Only if you use the contractor mod.
That does a lot more than change
Yeah.
helper names, though.
Yeah, that's the only way I know of.
And even using that mod, you have to edit the XML. Alright, next time you guys turn around, I'll run Chaser on you. Hey, iPlay, how's it going? Hooked on Quack, both of you, welcome to the stream. Good to have you with us as always. A stump mulcher, yeah, that's a good point.
Actually, if it's on the other side of the road, those ones can't be deleted. It's the edge of the map. The ones I think. It's the ones near your farm, Harv.
Oh.
The right side of field 82.
Is it in the where I've parked a lot of equipment for a while in that area?
Roughly, yes.
I ended up painting over some of those. That's why I've got paint spots over there.
Apparently I didn't make it to turn around.
Oh,
Nope.
you're ready to unload?
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent. You guys might not have seen this yet. This is Caveman's new truck. I'm coming. I'm coming. There you go. Get in line with your pipes out. I said pipes. Am I gonna... Nope. I can't quite get both of you. Hey, no problem, Eddie. I hope you got that sorted out. It's not really a difficult process. A little bit tedious sometimes, a little bit time consuming sometimes, but silage isn't bad.
Silage isn't bad at all.
What do those run? 6,500 a piece?
75.
7,500? Oh, good, even better. So we got 15,000 liters already. We got the rest of this field and one more to harvest. Oh. There we go.
Bumped me.
Be glad that's all I did.
Mhm.
You wrecked my harvester.
Oh, I think you'll live. And yes, I'm back to baling, so that truck's gonna sit where it is. I figure it's out of the way.
Yep, that's fair.
So I've got a question for everybody, and I might ask this again farther down the line. My question is, and I think it was Bruce Salter during the Friday impromptu who said he's been playing Farm Sim since 2009 or Farm Sim '09, and what I want to know now, if you think about it, video games have a shelf life of about 3 to 6 months. The next latest and greatest thing comes out, and we move on. You know, replayability isn't a big factor. You know, even some of the best video games, like I played Red Dead Redemption like crazy, but still, you know, 5 6 months and I was done, even doing Red Dead Online. But what keeps you coming back to Farm Sim over and over and over again for years and years? I've never played a game as long as I played Farm Sim.
I have.
But I'd like to know from you guys out there, what is it that keeps you coming back? Because doesn't it get tedious? Time, you know, isn't it? You know, you're doing the same game over and over and over again. So I'm really curious about what keeps inspiring you to come back to this game. I know what it is for me, and I'll share that after. But I want to know what you guys. What is it that keeps bringing you back to the Farm Sim series? That's right, Eric. They do the same thing as a bunker does. It's not different silage, it's the same. Although some of those were established so that you could do different types of silage on certain maps that had things like clover or alfalfa, but that's map specific. So most of them are just fermenting silos where you can dump your stuff in there and it will ferment instead of having to use a bunker. There you go, Eddie. Fast baler with a mower on the front. Absolutely. Easy Rider. How's it going, bud? So iPlay says she keeps coming back because it's relaxing. That's a very good point. Eric says it's such a vast game that there's always a new goal that you can set for yourself, try to accomplish. For Gary, it's constantly changing. That's a fair point too. Matthew says it's just fun. Colby, how you doing, bud? Question of the hour is what keeps bringing you back to Farm Sim? You know, most games we quit playing and move on within 3 to 6 months, but Farm Sim people keep coming back to year after year after year. And so
Make
I'm
your own story.
just asking everybody, why is that? What keeps them coming back? For SharCo, he gets to make up his own story as he goes along. That's a fair point.
And you guys.
And yeah, the audience definitely plays a part. K-Van, go ahead.
I have to say it's the community around the game and the modability of the game and just the ability to be able to really break the game however I want to break it.
There you go. Hey, Chris Green, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Good to have you with us. Eddie likes building stuff. Rob, it's just so easy going. Building stuff from nothing. Yeah, I like that aspect too, Eddie. I like building from scratch.
Most of my games are simulators or sandbox games, like a city builder or things like that. I don't have many one-time play games. I'm not a big fan of them.
Easy Rider grew up on a farm, so he just loves farming. That's a fair point.
Yeah, that's a very fair point.
That is. It is. In setting up, guys, for today, there is one thing we forgot to do.
What?
Fuel in your combine.
Oops.
Oops. Do you need fuel that bad?
It's not quite to the red yet.
Fuel won't go to the red. So I've never gotten it. I've got it down to, like, I think 10 liters, and it still has never been red.
We'll be
Yeah,
all
we
right.
got 56 liters of diesel in here.
That should be plenty.
I find most games I play are sandbox games that have a great modding community. That's fair, you know. Games that, because if there's a strong modding community, that means the game is adaptable in some way, and that the
Minecraft's a great example.
developers are giving it a certain amount of leeway to be adapted. So yeah, that's a great point. I play absolutely.
Yeah, like Minecraft's a good one. City Skylines is another really good one that they like. Even when they're showing it off, they use mods.
And Eric
on their own
says,
streams.
yeah, the community's great. I agree.
Mhm.
I've never seen such a positive community as Farm Sim gets. Any
And,
of the people
Matthew?
who won the raffle from Christmas playing with you? No, not today, Matthew. I think our next person on the slate is going to be Gary, and we're just waiting to hear from him. When he feels like he's ready to go again, we'll get him on. We haven't heard from anybody else.
No, we haven't.
Well, Easy Rider says that he wanted to pass his off. I said, well, we'll wait and see. Maybe a month from now you'll feel differently about it. But that's totally his choice. And yeah, Eddie, different maps. I mean, that's part of the modding community. That's the thing that makes it for me, is having so many different maps to play.
It's not like if you're playing like GTA or something, you can do multiple stories. It's one story and the exact same pretty much each time.
Right.
Maybe slightly different, but
And Eric makes a good point too. It gives you an appreciation for how hard farming
Yeah.
is as a life. I mean, think about it. We get frustrated when we have to drive up and down a field for an hour. Like, we want bigger, better, faster, and more just to get that field done. And you know, in the real world, that would be a full day's job for somebody. Harvesting a field this size in the real world, that's going to be a good day's work, assuming nothing breaks down.
And usually you're by yourself most of the time.
Yep, you spend a lot of time alone. Hey, Sprue, how's it going, bud?
Hey, Sprue.
Yeah, hey, glad you made it.
Oh, okay, Gary. Yeah, Gary is Wet Coaster in the Discord. So he he caught himself up to YouTube apparently. That's a great point too, Eddie. You have the opportunity to learn about things that maybe in the real world you've never had a chance to experience or never even considered. I was just having a conversation with somebody the other day, and I said, and he started asking about farming type stuff because he doesn't know much about it either. But you know, we were talking. I'm like, you know, everybody thinks that their bread comes from a place that packages bread. They don't think beyond that. Like, no, you've got to have wheat, and that wheat is grown by farmers, or barley, or
No, like a lot of oats usually.
what?
I said bread's usually made up of a lot of oats, not just one. Or not oats.
Try wheat.
Grain crop.
It's generally wheat. Then you do have multigrain breads, but the most common is wheat.
Even multi-grain breads are going to be at least 50% or more wheat.
That's fair.
But, you know, going beyond that, when I buy a package of ground beef in the store, oh, well, that just came in a package. No, that was somebody's cow at one point. People don't want to think about that. They just want to buy their bread and get on, and that's fine. You know, buy your bread, buy your meat, and move on. it's not your job, but your only job is to have an appreciation for the hard work these people do to bring you that stuff. Hey Tris, how are you? Good to have you with us today. I think I was driving over by Tris Trail on off the grid the other day. In fact, I'm sure I was because I went to the church. And Tris Trail runs right up next to the church, right next to Prolinsky Park.
I should have emptied out the other end.
Yeah,
Life Hawk.
emptying myself.
Your bread comes from from a stork. That's some strange bread. Unfortunately, this morning's stream has been fraught with technical difficulties. Like I said, we're not going to get into them, but we did get going finally, ultimately. I guess that's what really matters. I'm grabbing the chaser bin now, guys. I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming. You just finished a sandwich on bread. Oddly enough, I actually like wraps now more than bread. I always have a package of tortillas, and if I want a sandwich or something, I will just put it on a tortilla, roll it up, and call it a wrap. No pun intended. Well, only one of you has his pipe out, so I'm going to that person first.
Well, I'm absolutely full, so.
You might want to back up because I'm not pulling this truck up onto the train track. Pickles come from the stork? That's a possibility. Is that why pregnant ladies crave pickles? That's the old cliche anyway, right? Casa Farms just made his own loaf of rye bread. Very nice. There's nothing better.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to make bread, you're missing out because, quite frankly, nothing makes your house smell better than fresh baked bread.
That is true.
Oh yeah, fresh baked bread.
Eric says the equipment is so massive and complex, and that is not even the computerized new kit. Yeah, absolutely. Wet Coaster, I'm not good at PvP games, prefer the organization challenges of city builder type. Yep, I agree with that too. My reflexes ain't what they used to be. I learned that playing Apex Legends. I did try real hard at Apex Legends for a good long time. Did you not need emptied, Caveman?
I was only at like 50% at that end.
I'm gonna go tip
If you
this
want to go
in.
tip that, yeah.
It's at 70. I'm 76% full. We've got 25,000 liters of oats already.
Oh, wow. That's just one of your fields.
That's the smaller of
even.
the two big fields.
Yeah.
Well, crostini's nice. Life Hawk, favorite type. My favorite type of bread is a whole grain wheat bread. I'm not the biggest fan of white bread. If I'm gonna buy bread, it's definitely gonna be some kind of wheat, generally with some of the grain left in it. Oh, Wet Coaster's making pizza, and his daughter made the dough from scratch. Yummy!
Ooh, that'd be good pizza.
That'll be very good pizza. That's, yeah, David Smith, that's kind of along the lines of what I'm talking about. I mean, I love a good quesadilla. And it doesn't have to be anything but a cheese quesadilla, but even just popping it in the microwave for a couple minutes and getting it warm and melty, or not even a couple minutes, it's like 30 seconds. But yeah, tortillas, flour tortillas for the win, man.
I'm not a big fan of the soft shell or tortilla shells.
I'm not a big fan of the crunchy ones.
I don't like the crunchy ones either.
Yeah, I love the crunchy ones.
Atomic Sneeze, welcome to the stream, man. Thanks for dropping in.
Oh.
Dim Snow Bunny, there you are. Just now leaving for work. Inventory, or just now leaving work. Inventory always sucks. No matter what job you're on, doing inventory sucks. Tedious, time consuming, yeah. Are you empty, caveman?
You go.
Alright. I just wanted to pull out of the way and get some of these more straw off this field if I can.
Mm-hmm.
If I can keep the straw coming off, then maybe we can actually just put helpers on the mulching part of it. That's my goal anyway. Too bad we just Too bad we just can't siphon fuel off of one of these vehicles and put it in another. If that if that harvester's gonna run out of fuel anyway.
Mine's full, so you can siphon from mine.
Rob had burgers. Casa Farms, what crop would you like to see in game for new maps? That's a great question. I don't know if I can just narrow it down.
There's a type of crop I'd love, like
what?
Water crops, ones that have to be in water.
Oh, like rice.
Rice,
Yeah, like
or
rice.
like cranberries.
They don't grow in them
No,
in the
but you
water. They
harvest
flood
them
the
with
field
water.
afterwards for the harvest.
Right.
Yeah. But like fields, something like that are the crops I'd like. I know they're not really possible, at least with.
We've had modders do it in 19 though.
It wasn't like, well,
They did
built
have
a
floodable
field.
fields.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna say a specific crop. I'm just gonna say I'd like to see more people take a book right out of Kaz's maps from 19.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Where he added multiple crops.
Add everything.
Yeah.
I would like to see, because there are some really interesting and unique harvesters out there. It would be really cool to have actual apple orchards that you have to harvest.
Oh, that would be cool.
If you guys have never seen the machines that harvest fruit trees, they're pretty spectacular. And they don't, they may not work on apples, but I know stone fruits they do. And they will take in this big, it's a tractor, but it's got this big beam on the side of it. They push it out, surround the tree with this big tarp that automatically rolls out from the machine. It grips the tree trunk and shakes the crap out of the tree, so any fruit that's ready just immediately falls to the ground. And then it's all collected on this tarp, and they roll it back up and put it into the bin.
Yeah, I don't think they do that with apples, because apples get bruised.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't think they do it with
But
that.
I think oranges they do that. I think with
I think they could do
I
it.
know they do it with lemons.
They could
Yeah,
do it with
lemons are
cherries. I know I've seen it with like plums,
Yep, plums is big.
stone fruit, stuff like that. Bok
What
choy,
fact-
celery, fennel. Those are fair points too.
Yeah.
Cucumbers. Hey, City Looks Sweden. Good to see you back, man. Thanks for joining with us today. Sitting and looking on your stream. Oh, City Look has a broken arm. Sorry to hear that, man. Got that a
Sorry
week
to hear
ago?
that.
Yeah, that's rough. Oh, Atomic Sneeze is making chicken chipotle wet burrito baked casserole. Oh my god, that sounds good.
That sounds good.
Man, I love Mexican food.
What time's that gonna be ready?
Yep, that's what I want to know too. What time should we be there?
I might have to leave now to make it on time.
Graham would like to see cucumbers. That would be cool.
Oh, cucumbers, yeah.
I've mentioned this in the past, but there is a YouTube channel that I follow called Tantum Tech. And they do these short videos. They're maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes at the most, but they're always showing off different types of industry or machining, and one of the video types that they do is like amazing farm machines. And so that's where I see most of this stuff. They've got robotic pickers now that can go and they can, like, if you've got strawberries in a greenhouse kind of thing, these robotic pickers can go along the rows. They actually determine whether the fruit is ripe or not, and an arm goes out and plucks the strawberry. It's pretty spectacular.
Now that's fancy.
It is. Now, I'm going to say that's most farmers probably don't have that.
No.
I wish they would, but I don't think they would. I don't want to know what the price of that would be.
Oh, and there's something. Do you if you can remind me of the name of this, SharCo? This is really cool. Fent, and you know I'm a Fent fan.
Yeah.
So the minute that I saw this, they have got basically what I would call robotic swarm seeders now. So
Like
they're
Roombas,
huh?
kind of. They're like
Yeah.
a Roomba for a field.
Yeah, but they're bigger than that. Quite a bit
Well,
bigger.
bigger. Yeah, that's right.
But what they do is, you know, these little robots are all controlled by a central computer, and they'll have maybe 10 or 20 of them. They'll go up to a field, and these are all loaded with seed, and they'll send this swarm of robots into the field to plant it. They're pretty cool. Do you remember the name of that, SharCo?
Ooh, I don't.
There's videos out there on it.
Yeah, I think I have it. Don't know how far up it would be though.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of that thing either.
I think it started with an X, though, or a Z.
Yeah, it was a weird name.
Anyway, it's freaking cool. Let me catch up with everybody. Love what? Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Avocados, those would be cool trees to have in the game. If we're gonna do fruit orchards or any kind of orchards, nut orchards, that's a good point too. And yeah, they would use those tree shakers on nut orchards, almonds or the like.
I gotta go get fuel in this thing.
You can't even get through the field.
How much fuel do you have left now?
I don't think so.
All right, go ahead.
7 liters. I don't think that's gonna go very far.
No, probably not.
Casa grew up in Western Canada, knows exactly what harvest. Yeah, okay, cool. Pecans, yeah, that's another great nut tree.
Pecans,
yeah. Anytime, Casa. Great place to ask these questions.
They might use them for like apples that are made in like pies and all that. They might use those type of harvesters for those type of apple orchards.
Well, if they're an orchard that does a lot of cider, they might.
Yeah, cider maybe, but
Yeah.
not for pies.
No, the fruit gets too mushy when it gets bruised.
Mhm.
Yeah, rice fields would be interesting, Triss, absolutely. Can you explain about the Breeder? What about the Breeder, Eddie? I'm not sure what you want to know specifically. YouTube channel called Views from the Road. She has complete recipes. I try a new one every week. Ooh, very cool. You didn't know houses were plants, aka house plants. Okay. Rob, the brewery is a real fun production to start with, easy to get into. I downloaded that brewery, Rob, for FS22. And I'm going to say it again because I've said it before. I refuse to use any mod that makes me haul water. Especially a production mod. It's ridiculous. Modders, knock it off. Hauling water to a factory is the silliest concept ever. Do you honestly think a factory in anywhere close to a city is not going to have a water supply? So, if your production sounds fun and interesting, that's cool. If you make me haul water to it, forget it.
Forget about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Even giants figured that out. None of their productions require water hauling, guys. Not a one.
Even the animals, when they have a building, they don't need water.
Not unless they're
Pasture.
a pasture, just an open pasture where you would technically have to haul water to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, charge me for the water. I got no problem with that. If your factory makes me pay a little bit more in upkeep based on the amount of water I use in a day, that makes sense. But to have to haul 800,000 liters of water? Nope. There is a workaround for that. It's called pass-through filling, where you plop down a fire hydrant right next to the water fill point. If you can get the trigger to activate on your water trailer at the same time as the fill point, you can fill your trailer and dump it in at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not even going to do that because it's not necessary anymore, and it shouldn't be necessary. We did a lot of that in FS19.
Quite a bit.
A
Quite a
lot.
bit.
That's because every single like factory on PV needed water.
And on Yukon.
Mm-hmm.
Can you adjust your mic a little bit, SharCo? People are saying they can't hear you very well.
Yeah, give me a second.
No, iPlays work or made a few of those recipes that Atomic was talking about. Tamales. I'm not the biggest fan of tamales, I have to be honest with you. And I live in a place where you can pretty much buy them straight from Mexican families, so just never been my thing. You know, the ones that come wrapped in corn husks. Not that they're bad, it's just not to my taste, but most Mexican foods I really, really love. I have a recipe, I don't remember where it is, but I started making it years ago. It was for seafood enchiladas. Oh man, talk about good. Yum.
That does sound good.
Well, Tris, that's a fair point, and we discussed this earlier too, at least off stream. I mean, there are certain things that obviously are going to need water. Pastures, open pastures for livestock, yes. Hauling water to that makes sense. A greenhouse, that's almost 50-50 sometimes. Yeah, it would make sense that you would have some type of a water tank that you would fill up. But even greenhouses, I think you would have an attached water supply for. But that at least does make a certain amount of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it really would depend on the size of the greenhouse and where it's located, honestly.
That's very
Yeah.
true.
That's very true.
Like, honestly, the large in-game greenhouse, I feel like it should be one of those things they charge you a little bit for water.
I was just gonna say the greenhouses though have like nothing else to be dropped off there, so it makes something like you need to be able to make have to do something for the reductions.
That's a fair point too. To activate the production, you should have to add something to it. Water is a cheap alternative to fertilizer.
I think seed would have been a better
Or
answer,
seed,
but
yeah, seed would make sense.
Seed and fertilizer, but you could use any type of fertilizer. So if you have animals, you could just use manure.
yes.
Well, that's the way Alien Jim, I think it was Alien Jim and Stevie's greenhouses used to be in 19. You add water and manure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water
But
and manure.
it didn't produce anything. It just made money.
Yeah. But
yeah.
still, that similar concept could be used on
Yeah, it could
these.
be. 'Cause if you just used water. Not bad.
Yeah, I think seed would have been good. Yeah, anything like that, but still. Eddie asked, "What factory was fun to start with?" That's a difficult question to answer because I don't know what your
Yeah.
definition of fun is.
I was gonna say an easy one that is like base game. I'd say is the oil factory. Isn't just an easy one to get into.
Well, that's a fair
Oil
point.
and flour are
Um,
easy to get into.
yeah.
Oil is what I call a dead end factory. There's nothing you can produce with oil beyond the oil. So no other factory requires the oil. The flour mill is another easy one. It will produce flour that you can sell for better than you can get for your wheat crop. But the flour also can be used in other places like the bakery, for example. So it's not the end of the production chain. But I mean, it's try them all. Try one and see if you like it, and it depends on what products does it need, and does that meet your style of farming. Like if you want a dairy, you're going to want to get into cattle production in a big way. Do you like doing animals? A dairy might be the fun one for you.
Also, I recommend placing it and not buying it on the map.
Right. Because buying it on the map, any contract that needed to be delivered there is now broken.
Yep.
And
We did
if
test
you're
that,
playing,
by the way.
Yes, we did. And if you're playing multiplayer, you're also removing a sell point that somebody else might have wanted to use.
Exactly.
Also found that one out the hard way.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Wet Coaster. Pay for the extra water connection. Definitely. Open a Perrier factory. No water, just bubbles. That's right. Well, a Perrier factory, I guarantee you, has a straight line water connection. They're not hauling water in. Most of that fancy water that you buy is actually just city water that's been filtered a couple times.
It's actually funny. There's just people out there in buckets shoveling water into the factory.
I know that there are factories that produce genuine spring water, that kind of thing, but a lot of it, not so
It's
much.
just city water filtered.
I think greenhouses only come in one color, unless you've got a mod for greenhouses, and there are some greenhouse mods out there now, but even then, I don't think you have color options on your greenhouses. Sprue.
I don't think so either.
Sprue's the first one to hit the hashtag blame SharCo today. Wet Coaster, I'd love to be able to pick up rocks by hand or rake. Missed an entire... Yeah, that would be nice, actually.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Especially if you lease the rock picker and then you've missed a couple of piles and you want to get them out of your field. I mean, even if you had to bring a bucket on a front loader out there.
Yeah.
That would be nice to be able to just pick up a random pile every once in a while just to get it out of your field, but right now that is not possible, but that's a great suggestion, absolutely.
Yeah.
Dustin S. Hey, bud. Haven't seen you in stream for a little bit, but it's good to have you back. Thanks for joining in today. Yeah, I figured Moonshine Factory also requires water hauling.
That makes sense, though.
That one I could see making sense. Because, well,
most places it's illegal.
Yeah. And if, you're doing moonshine, a lot of times they're going to want to use spring water or mountain spring water. They're wanting, fresh water. They're not wanting stuff that's been piped all over the place.
That is an excellent point. If one of you guys wanted to do some bale collecting real quick, we could probably get a worker mulching this field. At least one worker mulching this field. Come on, little tractor. This tractor is technically too small to run this baler, but as long as we're not on any kind of a slope, it actually does okay. This is what Caveman means by breaking the game his way. He likes to try weird combinations and see if they work. This is one of those combinations. Yeah, David, some of it isn't filtered, is it? Not at all. Bottled here on the island of Malta. Oh, that's cool. I don't think we've ever had anybody from Malta before, so welcome from Malta. Very cool.
Yeah.
Comes from a destination. Okay. Glow-in-the-dark stone mod makes them easier to see. That's interesting. Is there actually a glow-in-the-dark stone mod Life Hawk, or is this another one of those witty repartee BS statements that you make? I don't understand how collecting rainwater can be illegal either, unless you're doing it on an industrial scale. You know, whatever happened to the rain barrel that people would have out next to their house to collect water coming off the roof?
Not legal where I am.
That's part of it. Most moonshiners, at least historically, don't want the government to know that they're using or making moonshine to begin with. Actually, it's not the water though, but people who grow, let's say, drug-related crops illegally. And yes, I know they're becoming legal in more places now, but the ones who do it illegally often get caught because they use a lot of electricity for grow lamps and such.
Yep.
Now there's some actually stories that I've heard about that where they've tapped into like actual power lines underground.
No, is that right? Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Yeah. And the only reason how they knew is that they knew the neighborhood, because the neighborhood was using more power than any of the meters said.
Oh, and they still tracked him down.
I think, yeah, they figured out roughly what house it was, and doing it by that, they figured it out.
Graham, to make fabric, you need a spinnery. You take your wool or cotton to the spinnery turns it into fabric, and from there the fabric can be turned into clothing at the tailor shop, I think it is.
Yeah, I think it's the tailors.
Martin Salinas, good to have you with us. Thanks for joining in. Oh, and that reminds me, guys, not that this has anything to do with Martin, but Farming Sins, some of you have been around for it, some of you probably haven't, so I'm going to throw it out there again. If SharCo, if you have that link again. Farming Sins is a guy who's been following my channel for a long time. He reached out to me and asked me if I would spread the word for him, so I am more than happy to do that. His wife has been diagnosed with cancer. Needless to say, during her treatments and such, she's not feeling well. He's having to take extra time off from work because she's not up to the task, but he's doing more to take care of the kids and things like that. And these treatments are obviously expensive, so it's hurting their family quite a bit. And what she has done to try to help alleviate some of the expense and such is to set up a GoFundMe page where people can go and donate. And even if you don't have the means to donate right now, feel free to share that link around to any place you think might be willing to help. You know, the more people who know about it, the more chance there is that they will get the help that they so much need. So, and we'll drop that link probably another time or two before the stream ends. I'm going to swap these tractors out so I've got a little more horsepower on this baler. put the mulcher on the smaller tractor.
Okay.
By the way, Harv, I have a worker already on the field.
I saw that. Thank you. Oh, we need to take SharCo over to his farm too, because we've got a special chore for him today. Just like I said in the stream description, we've got a special chore just for SharCo today.
I actually do know why collecting water is illegal in some states.
Why is it illegal?
Well, at least on the Colorado River, it's because that water goes into like the Colorado River, and states were promised water that the Colorado River can't actually get. So on like a government side, if you collect water, you're stealing from other states.
Where's the Colorado River? Because I've never heard of Colorado.
He means Colorado.
Yeah.
I know what he means.
I
I can't hire a worker in your tractor, caveman.
Okay, well, I'll take care of that then.
Nice.
And
I'm back over.
Yeah.
want
Bailey.
to empty that chaser bin real quick?
Yes,
'Cause
sir.
it's
I
pretty
will.
full.
But yeah, basically on the state level, it's basically stealing from other
Oh, that is
like
full.
states. That's what they call it. So.
Right. Well, I mean, okay, if somebody's doing it on an industrial level, it makes sense. But I guess even laws to prevent industrial level water theft filters down to the little guy too. Let's see. I gotta catch up. Kevin has a rain barrel next to his house. Wet Coaster has 3 rain barrels. There you go.
Yeah, I know.
The
Someone who
first
actually
do
runs.
shall then mulching, then destoning, then okay, Eddie. You shouldn't be missing anything. Although I'm not sure that I'm absolutely reading correctly, because some of those words I don't recognize. I'll be honest with you.
He did say he's sorry that some of the translating. It
Oh,
translates
stupid
back to,
autocorrect.
Dutch. Yeah. Well.
The best I can tell you is watch my field preparation video. Seriously.
Did that the exact same time what Coaster said it.
Oh, did he?
Like literally, like he posted, like, it went up and then you said it.
Not allowed to collect water that naturally entered the water table, but you can take it back out of the water table with a well. Yeah, exactly. So what's the difference?
At
Maybe-
least with the well, it's going to go back in there most likely.
It hasn't had the opportunity to. Yeah, especially in states where drought is a big deal. You're going to need to allow the water to get into the ground and refill aquifers and things like that. So I understand the distinction there. It makes some sense.
Yeah, I know someone up here who the whole house is basically hooked up to a single water tank, and they water like all their plants and everything like greenhouses with it. It's actually really cool.
Well, there are towns and cities, I'm sure around the world, but in the U.S. especially, where they have what are called single source aquifers. In this town, some of these towns will get more than 50% of their water from an aquifer under the ground. So yeah, they're going to want as much water going into that aquifer as possible.
Up here, we don't use a lot of hydro hydrants. We use water wells. Basically, where it's just like a big open pond that's built for fires that they can pump from, and those rely on basically rainwater to be filled. So those don't get filled, and there's a fire, you ain't getting water from it.
All right, Sprue posted the link out. Very cool. Thank you. Paul Tunks, welcome to the stream. Good to see you again, my friend. Dustin S. just donated. Thank you, Dustin. You are always a very generous man, and I appreciate it. And I'm sure Farming Sins appreciates it too. Just trying to get the word out. Okay, so the video's been mentioned. It's all good. Where I live, rain falls, soaks into the ground, eventually runs into creeks and rivers in the ocean. Well, you know, Nevada, all of that's a very big deal. Although we mostly rely on snowpack in the mountains. The Northwest in general really relies on snowpack in the mountain for a lot of its water, but
Also, where Canada relies on all their water is snow.
and you know, the Hoover Dam, the lake that was created when the Hoover Dam was built, is called Lake Mead. That thing is down 100 feet.
Yeah. What, 33% full?
Possibly. Most of the
I think it's
reservoirs around Nevada are less than 30% full, and some of
Yeah, I
them
think
are
last
almost
I heard.
completely empty.
Yeah. But, like, it's the lowest it's ever been since they built the dam.
Yep. There's actually a level 1 emergency, water emergency. And most of that water goes to California.
Sorry, Harv. I can move that now for you.
That's no biggie. I'll be back down on this end of the field at some point.
Yeah. Need to unload, so.
Yeah, Eric says there are fire ponds in the States
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, but they fill up by using rainwater, so I remember a few years we had droughts. That was actually one of the concerns up here, because half the ponds weren't filling up the way they normally would.
I think they really need to start looking into desalination plants, but man, that's an expensive process, so I'm not sure that's even the best solution. Although I do know there's an interesting study that's been done or is being done to determine crop yields using salt water. Some crops don't do well with salt water, but there are crops where salt water is perfectly fine. In fact, they thrive on salt water.
I could see that.
There's a lot of nitrogen in that salt. NaCl, right? Sodium chlorate?
I think so, or something like that. It
Or
all depends
no,
on how much
sodium,
salt
not
you put.
nitrogen, sodium.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Lake
know
Shasta
saltwater
looks like a puddle.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I know. I was gonna say some crops will, if there's salt water, will actually pull water out of the crops instead of absorb them. But yeah, no, I know other crops will actually like pull water out of salt water instead of normal water. Yeah. Well, I know there is actually a problem with distillation on big city scales.
Okay, and
So,
what's the problem?
the issue is if you had like an intake off the coast, it would for one cause, because those big cities draw a lot of water, could actually, now I mean, if every city did this, massive amounts of issues with like the water flows in the ocean because of how much water would be being pumped in. Like not necessarily like the whole ocean, but like around the city, it would dramatically just like disturb the water.
I mean, I
You know,
can see that.
Chicago has like Chicago's changed their waterfront quite a bit by it, and they pull from a lake. So pulling from the ocean around it is pretty bad. Now also you can separate it and use half ocean and half river, so there's obviously ways around it. But yeah, like if New York and all that started pulling water in Washington, supposedly it wouldn't do too good. Obviously it hasn't been put into practice, but
Caveman, are you logged in as admin?
I think so.
Can you bump time to 5 times speed? I forgot to do that.
Yes, I'm logged in as admin. Yes, I can do that. I already done it.
Thank you.
Whoever's running Chaser Bin, when they get a chance, can I get a Chaser Bin?
I could run it over to you.
I'm on it. I'm right here.
Oh, okay.
I should be paying more attention to that. I just need more warning. Uh, 3 trillion gallons in Tahoe Lake. Surprised they're not tapping it. Actually, Eric, even Tahoe is struggling. Water rights are a big deal in Nevada, a very big deal in Nevada. And even if you have water rights for a specific reservoir, a specific area that's supplied by a reservoir, they'll only give you water for a limited amount of time. They will not allow the reservoirs to drain too low. Really? That looked right. I got it. I'm on it. I was just off by a smidge. There we go. I'll hit SharCo up too after this. Will the
I do have. Go ahead.
Will the biogas take wrapped bales? Yes, it will.
It will only take the 2.5 trailers at a time.
It depends on the biogas plant. Some take a lot more than that, others do not. On this map, the biogas will only take 2.5 trailers is an inaccurate description because you have to say 24, 48, 12, 60 bales at 5,500 liters apiece. Is what we were in over there before we ran. It's probably a little bit less than that. Oh, there's SharCo down at the end. I'm coming down to unload you right now. I know you're probably not very full, but I'm still going to grab it while I'm in this thing.
I was going to say, I do have more trailers over at my farm if you want to place a trailer at the end or something. And one at one end and one at the other.
On Elmcreek, you sell the bales up top, and also make sure they're done fermenting. If they're not done fermenting, they won't sell.
Yep.
That's true. They won't sell it to BGA if they're not done fermenting. But at the what is it? The animal dealer, they'll buy them as grass if they're not done fermenting, I think.
I think that's right. Kevin, you're getting more snow?
Oh yeah.
So you're in Pennsylvania now, SharCo? I thought you were in Canada.
No. No, saying I'm getting more snow too.
Man, you guys can keep it.
I mean, I need to take a picture of some of the parking lots up here for you, just so you can see how much snow we have.
I've seen huge piles of snow, but in parking land, we're talking 20 feet tall.
I got 2 feet of snow where I am in like 6 hours. That was not a fun 5 hours cleaning off the roofs.
Not.
Okay, it was fun cleaning the roofs off. Wasn't fun the next day.
Why? What happened the next day?
Sore.
Oh, you were just sore.
Yeah.
You thought it was fun cleaning the snow off the roof?
Actually, yeah, it is quite fun.
Got to get you out more.
So the people where y'all are park on top of the piles of snow in their 4x4s when there's a big pile of snow in the parking lot, or do they?
No, but wheel loaders drive on top of them to keep dumping snow.
Around here, people in 4x4s, they'll park on top of the pile of snow, or they got a Jeep that's got, you know, some good suspension on it for flex. They'll like put one tire up on it so it's flexed real hard or something.
Oh, that happens.
Appalachia at its finest. Now that's a fair point too, Atomic. You can't just dump the salt back in the ocean because it will jack up the the chemical
Yeah.
makeup of the water, the salinity levels. So getting rid of all that salt too.
Oh,
What do you do with
the,
all
s-
that? So
the,
I mean,
s-
I know
the
we had
smart
that issue
thing to
here.
do would be to do what needs to be done to it to make it usable for road salt.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would be the cheapest thing to do with it, and then sell it off as road salt.
But we're switching from road salt up here. We're not gonna be using it for much longer.
Yep.
Switching
I
to a
mean,
chemical.
well, I mean, they also still sell it. You can go buy a bag of road
Oh,
salt
yeah,
at
yeah.
Lowe's.
You can still go buy it, and it's not like it's gonna be phased out anytime soon. But I think on the timescale of building a massive plant like that, a lot of places wouldn't be using salt anymore.
I think there's still quite a few places that would. They might not be using it on the same scale, but I still think there's
Maybe,
quite a few
yeah.
places that would be
Yeah.
using
Like
salt.
sidewalks and all that, yeah.
Yeah, if it wasn't
That makes
nothing but
sense.
for, homeowners to go buy to put down on their sidewalks or something.
That makes sense. Because
I mean,
yeah, up here we use a lot of salt fast. So,
that would be something you could do with the salt. As far as
no.
any other chemicals, I don't know what you'd have to do with those. You'd probably, I don't know
You could
what else
turn it into
would come
table
out,
salt too,
but
though. So,
that would take more processing
it
and
would, but I mean,
be more expensive. Yeah, it's probably doable, but
Wendy's use is a sea salt. So,
I'm saying the process of collecting sea salt is different than getting fresh water out of it, the salt water.
yeah, but you
That
still have the salt left
process
over
is
though.
different.
Yeah, but Guster's right, yeah, or it does destroy it, so they're trying to switch over to a liquid that doesn't, and also salt only works up to -20. So,
But do you know how salt actually works? Yes. The reason that salt melts ice is because what salt isn't actually melting the ice. What it's doing is lowering the freezing temperature of the water. Wrap your head around that concept.
that's why it freezes again in -20.
Right.
Yeah.
You can only lower the freezing temperature so much. Which is, if you really want a cold, cold, cold cooler, load your cooler with ice and then dump some salt on it.
And that's
I'm
why
not,
you put rock salt around the ice when you make homemade ice cream.
That's
yeah,
exactly right. You want a frosty cold beverage. Throw some salt in your cooler, man. Woo!
oh yeah, there was, I think yeah, there is like a salt mine or underneath Toronto. No, or not under Toronto, but yeah. I think it's still actually being used. That salt mine. Maybe it's another one I'm thinking of, but
Well, according to SharCo, if it wasn't for the mining industry, there wouldn't be any industry in Canada.
yeah, a lot of it is mining. Maybe not Toronto. Toronto's separate, but a lot of the towns up here are actually mining towns.
70%.
Old mining towns. Yeah, there's actually a lot of towns that exist here that used to have mines in them. They don't mine them anymore because there's no demand for it.
Okay, and you're on a pass with your pipe out. Where's my truck? There it is. Or your truck. Have we run out of mulching room over on that other field?
I think my worker has stopped. Yeah.
I think a little bit of it still needs to be done, but not much.
Yeah, my tractor's stopped.
Has
I'm right
mine
over to this field.
stopped too, or no?
No, yours has a little bit left to do. I think I hit where you started yours from, so.
Actually, mine decided to turn and try to mulch towards your guy, so I had to go turn him around and get him going the other way.
Of course he did, because they're always going to mulch in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm. I'll start mulching. I'll get my guy mulching on this field.
I wouldn't. Do
Actually, he's
that.
probably faster than us. Yeah, maybe not. Well, at least get lined up. But yeah, nothing. But he is faster than us, so.
Well, we've got bales all over this field right now, so we can't start mulching it just yet.
you want to go over and catch SharCos on the way down, that'd be...
Yep, I figured you were empty at this point, and this is just about ready to be emptied anyway, so once I get SharCos, I will run this over to the silo. Can have a good amount of oats off this field.
Oh, my worker just got done doing what they were doing.
I didn't touch you. I don't know what happened there, but I did not didn't get that close to you.
There was a worker on it, so maybe the worker wasn't happy.
Oh, on your harvester?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was moving my tractor so mulching could be lined up.
Gotcha. And I accidentally hit a button and switched out. Exit.
So you can go dump that. I'm at 30.
Exit zombie. You're down to. You still have 30% in your harvester.
Yeah, but you're going faster than me, so.
No, just come on up. I'm reading chat and driving.
And then I'll just stop and I can unload them. They'll be easier.
Yeah, but we want to keep things going.
Okay.
I could do it. I can do both things at the same time.
You can
Ish.
read and drive at the same time.
Sometimes. There, I've got it set perfectly now, and I'm not even using cruise control.
Okay, I'm empty.
The north part of Toronto used to be called Hogtown. No prize for guessing why. I'll bet it was stinky. We've said this before too. If you've never been close to a hog farm, you're not missing anything. Trust me. Nevada has a bad water table from the arsenic and mercury from mining these. Yeah, runoff from mines is not good. Well, and the fact that it's a desert already, that doesn't help matters.
Nope.
No, it really doesn't.
It's actually,
Yeah, mining is not good.
considering how dramatic the desert is here in Nevada, it's amazing how much ground crop is actually grown, even if 90% of it is alfalfa. Not even 90%, but still.
There's actually a cool thing I saw, and they're so it's like this, like a solar panel kind of thing that you can install on your roof, and it collects water for you out of the air.
An evaporator.
Yeah, it uses, I think, a single solar panel in the middle with two evaporator chambers, and I think I said they tested it in Nevada, and I think they said they got up to 2 gallons or like a gallon to 2 gallons a day.
Well, you know, that's one of the survival kits that they suggest you have with you, or often put on, like life rafts on ships. Is a it's a solar what's that? It's not an evaporator.
Solar still.
Still, that's it. It's a still.
Yeah.
And it usually just
But,
looks like a big plastic tent kind of thingy that collects water vapor and lets it drip down into receptacles.
Yeah, and apparently they designed this thing in Nevada, so it works pretty well. And like places up where I live, I can get up to maybe 10 gallons of water a day.
High humidity place? Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. It won't work though below freezing, so that's an issue. But
Well,
like, it won't wreck it; it just won't work.
A solar still and the evaporator thing are slightly different.
They are.
A solar still, you put water into it and it evaporates the water using the sun, and then it recondensates on the plastic and drips down into a container to collect the water.
it makes seawater drinkable, basically.
Yes.
But, you know, yeah, this evaporator or the collector on this thing is actually, I mean, for what they are, they're not expensive, but they're also not cheap. But they're pretty interesting though. So they just pull the water out of the air.
When I was a kid, my parents, we had central air conditioning, but for whatever reason it was, I mean, and this is old school too, so I don't know what the technology was like, but all I know is we had the condensation hose for the air conditioner in the basement. And every couple of weeks, we would go down there and haul 5-gallon buckets of water out of the basement outside and tip it, and probably 4 or 5 5-gallon buckets of water every couple of weeks. And that was in the Midwest, where you run high humidity. I mean, here in Nevada, we probably average in the summertime between 20 to 25% humidity.
That makes sense actually, because at least my house pumps it straight into the septic, but it does pump pretty fast in the summer. Like you can hear the pump running sometimes, and it does pump quite a bit of water.
Ours just drips outside.
Flowers and dairy. Oh, I did remember seeing your comment about if you had a crop, tulips would be cool. That would actually be fantastic.
Tulips, yeah.
One of the cool crops that Kaz put into his map was poppies. But tulips would be fantastic. You could do them in multiple colors. That would be great.
Actually, you know what? One thing I would love is an upgrade to grass. Make it sod.
Oh, a sod cutter would be really cool.
So you have to go and you have to get the field trimmed and maintained, but then you go and cut it up and sell it. I think would be really cool.
What do you do about the topsoil you're skimming off, though? Because in the real world, at some point, you're going to have to replenish your topsoil.
That's true. Just mulch
plenty of modders have already added dirt into the game as a mod. I mean,
that's true.
It wouldn't be that hard for Giants to, figure that out, I don't think.
It'd have to be a different grass though, because that grass is usually more meant for small. Compared to grass that we're growing in fields.
Eric, that's only partially true. In desert communities, they do use swamp coolers quite a bit. However, my apartment has central air conditioning. Swamp coolers aren't quite as efficient as air conditioners when it comes to cooling power, but they do make more sense in desert communities because you can add water back into the atmosphere instead of taking it out the way an air conditioner does.
76%.
Because having zero air or water in the air is not good, because you actually can't sweat very well, and cooling is not very good. So if it gets too dry, yeah, swamp coolers add that water back into the air. But if you have a powerful enough AC, it's not going to make a difference. Or central air, I mean.
Yeah. Hey, Sparky, how's it going? Good to have you with us. And yeah, I've seen the pictures of the tulip fields, and they are a work of art. They're amazing. Lavender fields are really, if you've never seen a lavender field, look it up, because they are spectacular also.
Red cabbage, I'd love.
Kaz's red cabbage, yeah, you became a huge fan of that after Island Life.
It was just so beautiful color. It was Old Timers Farm that got me hooked on that color. Was
it Old Timers Farm? Did we do red cabbage the first? Yeah, I guess that's right.
I did it. You guys didn't, but I did. They got my farm. So.
Oh, a mod that actually allows you to chip and mulch the branches off the trees you cut down. In 19, there used to be a sawdust mod that would put sawdust on the ground when you cut a tree and debranched it, and you could collect that sawdust. I never used it personally. I know Lifehawk was a big fan of it at one point. No worries, Sparky. No worries, man. Okay, that was totally my fault. Well, this trailer almost fits, but if you get even a smidge too close, it hits the pipe. It is nice having the extensions on here, though, Caveman. Just have to be careful how close I get to him.
Yeah. So
It's
say
really gonna be nice for doing my sugar cane.
yes.
Rub it in. Rub it in. See, Sparky likes the sawdust mod. And SharCo, Kevin's asking that you post the link for Farming Sins again.
Got it.
Anybody who doesn't know, Farming Sin's wife was diagnosed with cancer, and needless to say, those kind of medical bills can be quite challenging. So she has started a GoFundMe page to help the family through this difficult time. Any money left over after it's all said and done, they are going to donate to cancer research. I forgot to mention that before, but that is one thing that they say specifically. Any leftover funds after all of this is said and done will be donated for cancer research. So, and even if you can't help, feel free, or, you know, financially aren't in a position to help, feel free to share that link around. You know, the more you can get the word out, the more we can get the word out, the better chances are that they will get the help that they need. So,
Yep.
help spread the word, please.
Oh wow, SharCo, you didn't run me over that time.
No, I didn't.
And Sparky's already, he's been in chat for less than 5 minutes, and he's already posted the hashtag blame SharCo twice.
Wow.
We've got a special chore for SharCo today.
Mm-hmm. They do.
I think your guy stopped Caveman with.
I'll go finish up where he left off, I guess.
Oh, you're done harvesting. Very cool. And then when SharCo gets done with that row, he can dump and then maybe collect bales. And then maybe we
Sounds like
take
a good idea.
then maybe we take him over to his farm and we give him that special task. That's what I'm thinking. We got
Here's a
plans.
real question. Can anyone guess what the task is?
We got plans for you, boy. We're not playing the
anyone guess
guessing
what it is?
game.
No?
Nope.
Oh. Well, I'm pretty much done now anyways, so I'll collect the bales. And...
There you go. There you go, Sparky. You need to catch up on the Blame Sharkos because he's late to the stream. He's missed out on an hour and a half of SharCo jokes.
Yeah, he has. At least he's not going to miss out on SharCo's special job.
That's right.
That's one thing you really didn't want to mess up or miss out on.
Why do you like torturing me?
No, it doesn't involve him crashing a tractor into a body of water.
I wish. That's easy. Super easy. I can do it in my sleep.
And you have numerous times.
Yeah. Not in my sleep though.
Pretty sure you've done it in your sleep once or twice.
Probably.
See, that's the thing. I suspect that SharCo suffers from narcolepsy. And that's why he keeps crashing these tractors. Because he's got a severe case of narcolepsy.
I'm just falling asleep.
And if you don't know what narcolepsy is, and it's a genuine condition, people will just randomly fall asleep. Like, it's not like they nod off or anything. It's like 1 second they're awake, and the next second they're asleep.
Ooh, I get to use the fan.
No. You're not allowed to use the fan.
But it has the bale trailer though.
You got to disconnect it and hook it up to something else.
Hey, Forrest, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Valentin Valev. Great name.
Hello.
Says hello, Harv, SharCo, and Caveman from Bulgaria. Very big FS farm here. Outstanding, dude. Glad to have you with us. We've
No
got
trucks
Malta,
available.
we've got Canada, we've got Malta, we've got Bulgaria today. Surely we've got at least I know we've got at least one or two people from England. Outstanding. He should get that checked out, SharCo. It isn't really safe to drive. Yeah, you know, being a driver with narcolepsy is bad, okay?
That would be bad.
And I still think that somebody should be able to code the ability for an AI driver to follow a windrow and find the next one and pull into that windrow and keep going. Somebody would have $1 million mod on their hands if they could do that. Oh, in the Netherlands, I'm sorry, Eddie. Yes, in the Netherlands. We were talking about your tulip fields. Absolutely. Sweden. Oh, we've had a few people in from Sweden today. Very, very cool. And welcome to the stream, Rick's channel.
Oh, yeah, welcome.
Nice to see you with us. Texas, yeah, many from the U.S. Michael Villafana, good to see you with us today. Thank you for joining in. And our old timers are always good about reminding folks to not forget to hit those buttons.
South Africa.
Tian Higgs, welcome to the stream. You're the second person we've had, not today. She hasn't been in today, actually. I haven't seen her in a while. Was it Christina? Was that her name, the lady from South Africa? I don't know. That's at least the second one, though. Man, we've got a fantastic worldwide audience today. Outstanding, guys.
Yes,
Thank you so much for joining us. You know, so I do Friday night impromptu streams sometimes just to chill, play my game, casual. And I've been on the Erlangrap map on when I do those. Oh, we just lost SharCo.
I see that.
He probably fell asleep again.
Hello?
Hello.
You dropped off the server, at least that's what I...
Yeah, my computer just crashed.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody was commenting on how much more money I have on Erlangrat and how much more expanded. And I had to explain, and so I'll explain to you guys why that might be. I mean, it's my personal playthrough. When I've got an hour here or decide to take a little time for myself, which isn't often, I jump on there and can just play however I want to play. So it's not a continuous stream. You know, I'll have 6 months go by on that, and then I'll hop on Friday night and hang out with everybody. So 6 months, sometimes even a year has gone by before I've streamed it again. On this playthrough, we don't play much between streams. You're seeing it as it develops. We will do work that gets tedious, and yes, I know you've been watching me bale straw for an hour and a half, which is still tedious, but trust me, the work that we do off stream, like we've done so much grass on stream that at this point we're really just harvesting the grass fields off stream.
Yep.
So that's why you'll see a bunch of bales stacked up all at the same time.
Sparky, we got just a little bit of snow. That's all we got.
It's 64 degrees in Texas today. Wow. We've got Sparky's in North Carolina. Well, I'm glad you enjoy the streams, man. Honestly, it's good to have you with us. There I go reading chat. So I can't even follow a windrow. SharCo couldn't crash the fence, so he crashed his computer. Okay, that's one of the better ones that you've pulled out lately, Sparky. I have to admit.
That is a good one.
That's a pretty good one. Well, there's Harley Quinn. It wouldn't be a stream without Harley Quinn in the audience. And I will throw out there, I'm pretty sure she's in Washington State, as she's told us in the past. We were just doing the roll call of nations, Harley, so...
NASCAR on ice. That sounds like fun.
NASCAR on ice,
Studded
tires. Actually, they do ice racing somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Do.
Well, there's a few places.
That actually kind of reminds me of one of my favorite guilty pleasure movies. And I just watched it again the other day because it's just, I find it very relaxing. It helps me go to sleep at night. But it's called The Cutting Edge with Moira Kelly and D.B. Sweeney. It's about a hockey player who's set to go to the pros, but he gets injured in such a way that the pros won't touch him. But then he gets recruited by an ice skating coach to do ice dancing, couples ice dancing. And drama ensues, and of course they hate each other but end up falling in love, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I just find it's just relaxed. It's, you know, probably the same reason I play Farm Sim over and over again. I can just chill.
Yep.
Not have to think too hard about it. But it's one of those movies where you go, oh, I like the cutting edge. And people are like, you like the cutting edge? Oh my God, it's so horrible, blah, 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 blah. Nope. It's a romantic comedy. Harv is multifaceted. What can I say? In Virginia, headed to Pennsylvania, and then New Jersey. Good luck in New Jersey. I hope it's a decent place, Easy. Oh yeah, we are slated for rain. We got that harvest done just in time. We do have rain coming.
I don't think we have any more harvesting to do today, do we?
I don't think so.
I think the next harvest is mine, or is it Caveman's? Both of ours.
What do the Americans think about Swedish people? I can't speak for all Americans. I can tell you what this American thinks about Swedish people. I would say Sweden has some of the most beautiful people in the world. There's something about your Norwegian bloodlines that have really, really heightened the attractiveness of the folks who live there. But beyond that, I honestly think that the Scandinavian countries have very polite people.
Mm-hmm.
Started learning a little bit about Sweden, Norway, and Finland when I was
The original Canadians.
doing my Baltic Sea series. I'd have to say fierce. I mean, you don't build up a country like Finland, Norway, or Sweden without having some real serious hard-working ethic and willingness to get your hands dirty, because those are not places that are generally the most hospitable. They might even be farther north than Canada.
Well, they are the ones that helped settle Canada, so it would make kind of sense why they settled in Canada.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
I know there are parts of Norway that actually reach into the Arctic. Like there are polar bears in certain parts of Norway. And seeing some of the places doing the Baltic Sea, I always look up pictures and stuff, and I try to add them to my videos when I can. And just beautiful, innovative. Sweden especially has some really innovative architectural features. I don't know. For me, I personally think, you know, that convinced me to add Scandinavia to my bucket list of places to visit. I think we have the ultimate respect. Plus, you guys invented Bluetooth. Where would we be without
that's
Bluetooth?
true.
I'm using it right now, so I wouldn't be here.
And you guys have the Nobel Awards, so I'm pretty sure this is correct. The Nobel Peace Prize is awarded in Stockholm every year, or when it's awarded. Is it annual? I think it's annual. But I'm pretty darn sure it's awarded in Stockholm.
I couldn't tell you.
2 more lousy bail run passes. I've got to run that chaser bin over and empty it for the last time too. Are you guys running those mulchers, or are you got helpers on them?
I'm actually running mine.
I'm in the Fent, so worker.
SharCo's just sitting there doing nothing. I'm just gonna sit here in the Fent, drink all the Diet Coke in the fridge, and
Wait, your tractor has a fridge in it, Harv?
it's got a little cooler section in it, yeah.
It does.
TN found the channel when he started playing FS19U and so many others, man. Unfortunately, just before 22 came out, I got a real job and my time has been much more limited, so not as much content for FS lately, but I'm doing the best I can. Michael Villafana, how am I? Doing great. Doing great. How are you, man? Well, it depends, Sparky. It depends. We've got a chore that he will be doing here very shortly. As soon as I get this last pass done, and I can get in the truck and put the last of the oats in the silo, we're gonna get SharCo busy. And he's not gonna like it. If I had the money, I would fly you guys over here. That would be awesome, Mr. Swede.
That would be awesome.
It would. I mean, I'd travel the world for. If anyone offered me to go anywhere in the world, I would do it. For
Oh,
most places, I would
absolutely.
do it.
We've got a pretty good Australian following too.
Yeah.
Haven't heard anybody from Australia chime in yet today, but usually we do.
Today.
Well, isn't it like around midnight for them right now?
Probably.
Or no, I think it'd be more in the morning, like 5 in the morning. I
Well,
think actually.
no, it's not. It's 16-hour difference. Yeah, that's right. So that would be.
Yeah. Yeah, that actually would be around 5.
Michael, I currently live in Nevada. I've been all over this country, but right now, home is Nevada, and it probably will be for the duration. Unless some miracle happens and I suddenly become independently wealthy or something. Almost done. I've got one little pile of straw over here, and then baling is complete. Good enough. Eject, eject, eject.
You're just ready to be done with it, ain't you, Harv?
I am, very much. Holy crap, 64 and, how many bales are on there, SharCo?
There's 12 here, but there's only 30 on the other stack, not 32.
Oh, why is that?
For me, it looked like there was, it had a glitch in those. There's more on it, it looked like, but there wasn't.
Oh, okay. So 62 and 12, 74. Wow. And those are
We could add that
9,000
back,
liter
though.
bales, right?
I think so.
Holy crap. And now we get to find out how much oats came off these 2 fields. Oh, there you go. Matthew's been, yeah, I apologize, Matthew. I don't always remember where everybody, I've got too many people to keep track of these days.
I was gonna say, Harv, you forgot to show them your new tool.
My new tool.
Yeah.
What, the rock collector?
Yeah.
As soon as we plow, I'll show them. Which will be happening just as soon as we put SharCo to work. All right, how much oats did I end up with? $103,000 liters of oats.
Wow.
So
wow.
if I sold them right now, I'd get $150,000 worth of oats. But we already know the price is going to get far better in the future. So, and that's 70. What's 7 times 9? 630,000 liters of straw. More like 650,000 liters of straw.
Wow.
All right, I'm just going to tab to SharCo's farm. There we go. And walk up the hill. You guys know where to go, right? So, Caveman and I always seem to end up harvesting SharCo's grass for him because he's always got to take his sister somewhere. He's got some excuse. So we decided that he was going to have to roll his own fields because, you know, rolling will start the regrowth process. We got to wait for Caveman to get here.
Sorry, my worker didn't want to cooperate.
So we've got a grass roller over here, but we're not going to let him use a tractor. He has to roll the field by hand. He has to push this thing around or pull it or however he can get it to move. And we thought about chaining him to it, but in case it started to roll down a hill or something.
Safety reasons.
We don't want to kill him. We just want to torture him a little bit. And as you can see, the roller actually does work being pushed by hand. So he gets to roll his field while Caveman and I go work. Enjoy that field rolling, man.
Will do. Not.
Be glad we didn't make you do it on the big field.
That's fair.
Yet.
Yet.
As many tractors as you've wrecked, trucks sunken, money lost. This is a small price to pay. Come on, keep going. You're not even halfway done yet. You missed a spot back there. Nope, you missed it there too. There's no GPS on hand pulling of roller.
You know, we should have made him start all over again.
We should have put him on the big field. I feel like I should have a riding crop or something. Come on, go, go, go.
Now, what you need is a horse to sit on. Just sit on the horse and watch him.
That's right. What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Maybe I need to turn on my GPS apparently.
Saves on gas, wear and tear on tractors. Tractors don't get sunk. You're not done. Keep going.
Apparently, it looks like something that happens in the Army when you do something really bad.
Right? No maintenance on the tractor, that's a fact.
You miss some more.
Yeah. You're off track again.
There's just one thing that makes it seem to me like it wouldn't be something they do in the Army.
What's that?
It's not pouring down rain.
There you go.
Watch.
Got to get a good screenshot of this. Oh, now you're in for it, SharCo. I'm actually recording this now.
Oh, great. Yay.
It might end up being the very first short on Harv's World.
When you lose $18 million worth of stuff, this is how you pay it back.
That's right.
Kind of like mopping up the rain or vacuuming the parking lot.
You missed a spot again. You can't pull anything that needs a PTO. This is just something that rolls across the ground, so it doesn't. You could probably do a field roller like this, because this does actually double it. It's not only a grass roller; it's actually a field roller.
I mean, we could always make him move a hole next time.
Oh gosh.
Oh, we could make him move a hole.
Did I miss any spots?
I don't know. It's your field. You work it out. I've got other work to do.
I think that's it.
Okay.
It looks like you got it.
Time to start plowing. And believe it or not, caveman, if you wanted to plow, I'd run behind with the rock picker so everybody can see the new rock picker that we've got.
I'll be grabbing the plow in just a second.
I'm hooking up to it on the Fent right now. You get to drive the Fent now.
Oh, I thought you were going to pull the rock picker with the Fent.
Nah, I can use the case. Technically the Fent should be pulling the plow. Even though we know lesser tractors will do it.
Oh, where did you go with the Fent?
Over here to my field, lining up on the edge. Oh, and what's nice is the rock picker and this should line up perfectly, right?
Oh yeah, they should actually.
Possibly. Where? I don't see you at all.
I'm on the corner of my field right now. Field 57.
Oh, wrong field. The wrong field.
Hey Marvin, how's it going, man? Good to have you with us. You just missed SharCo's payback. So this is our new rock collector. Straight from Iconic. This is our Iconic rock collector. Brand name. And I have to say, it's pretty spectacular. No, SharCo's our new nose picker. And what makes this thing special is that it's 9 meters wide. Nine meters wide and holds a metric ton of stuff. Okay, 10,000 liters, but still. That might be a metric ton. And it's fast. I can run 18 miles an hour and collect stones.
You can run faster than the plow can.
This mod is available. We actually probably should have linked that. This mod is available on Mod Network. It comes from Iconic, Iconik. Oh, we crossed swords. Oops. Sorry, caveman.
It's your equipment.
Well, that's fair.
You know what? I kind of wonder something now, Harv.
What?
You want to detach from that for a minute?
I can. Let me get turned around so I'm in my lane.
Because if this works, then
Oh, what do you want to do? Put it behind the plow?
I want to see if I can, if this
I'll
vent
stop.
will do both at the same time.
Stop right there. I'll pull it behind you. Oh.
That'll be interesting if it works.
It will, because you can push the 9M. This will totally work. Wow. Good thinking, man. Good thinking. Yes, Graham, it would be PC only.
Look at that. One pass.
One pass plowing and rock collecting. Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. And I don't say that often. Oh, wait. Yeah, I say that all the frickin' time. But this time I really, really mean it.
The Fent actually came in handy.
As if a Fent wouldn't come in handy, please.
Okay, well, I mean, you're using a lot of the Fent's power.
Oh, yes.
Actually, give me a second here.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find out exactly how much of the fence power it's using. Oh.
Now you've done it, SharCo. Yeah, I don't think, Marvin, that plow is quite... I don't think the stats are quite right on it, because we've been able to use much smaller tractors to move that plow also. Like less than 200 horsepower. Even though it technically calls for 350, I think.
Yeah.
Where is this? Don't tell me it's not available in It might not be available in multiplayer.
What?
I don't know what I forgot to check.
Yeah, oh, it is available in multiplayer.
What?
Um,
No, we're good.
being able to view the physics.
Oh, is it one of the F keys developer commands?
Yes, it is. Uh, we are using 85% of the fence motor capabilities.
Nice. SharCo, Marvin would like you to tell him what your payback was.
I had to roll my small grass field by hand.
He had to push the grass roller by hand.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I didn't get a coat of fertilizer on that before, but it doesn't matter.
I know we can't use this quite yet, but I'm bringing it here anyways.
Oh, the Kinsey?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair point, Marvin. That's a very fair point. Hey, Stephen Murray, how you doing, man? Oh, look at the chat picking up, man. 38 viewers now.
Oh
Thank you
wow.
so much,
Wow.
everybody. Thank you for
Mhm.
joining us this afternoon, or whatever time it is in your neck of the world.
We don't need the mulcher anymore, do we?
Nope, everything's been mulched. I hope that mulcher
Good.
didn't accidentally hit my grass field,
Doesn't look like it.
though. Marvin. Good. We may have had that problem in the past.
Mm-hmm. You know, I think you're fine. I know I don't see anywhere on the map that has your grass field hit.
And luckily, I do not need to lime these fields at all, so... And we're not planting them today. In fact, we might not be planting them until September.
Um,
Working on a Sunday, Graham. Yeah, we work when we have to, right? It doesn't matter.
you were planning to plant sorghum, weren't you?
I hadn't completely decided yet.
Mm.
But if I was doing sorghum, I'd be planting all of this in grass, and I'm not sure I want to do that. We were talking about sorghum, though, weren't we? Because these fields would have to sit fallow for the rest of the year. And it's only July.
Mm-hmm.
Caveman Eddie would like to know from you, is making mods difficult?
Well, Eddie, it depends on what you're trying to make. And it depends on whether you're trying to edit an existing mod or if you are trying to make something completely from scratch. If you're planning on going completely from scratch, you're going to need to know how to use Blender. You're going to need to know a little bit of XML. You're also going to need to have some understanding of GIMP and, of course, the Giants editor. And for actually doing the texturing process, you can do that in Blender and GIMP, but it's a whole lot easier if you have a program like Substance Painter. But if you're just doing an edit, it depends on what you're trying to do in the edit. A lot of stuff can be done in the XML that can be done relatively easy. Or if you're trying to add something, like trying to add lights to something that's done in the Giants i3D editor, that's relatively easy. And then there is some work it does need to be done in the XML as well, but it's still relatively easy. Just takes a little bit of time learning.
And Eric would like to know about adding logos to equipment.
That depends. How good do you want it to look? If you just want to put a logo on a flat surface, it's really simple to do in Giants Editor. With, you're going to need Giants Editor and GIMP. Both of those are free. Uh, but if you actually want it to wrap to the vehicle or to the piece of equipment, you're also going to need some Blender knowledge. Blender's also free. But that's a whole lot harder because it involves taking the 3D model back into Blender and redoing a bunch of stuff. As to where if it's just flat, you can just add a plane in Giants Editor and do everything in Giants Editor. And if let's just say you've got something that already has a logo on the side of it, like I know in 19 there were a couple of trucks that already had logos on the side of it. You can take that logo file out and edit that logo file and plop it back in, and don't change the name of it or anything. Just redo the logo and it'll be there and you'll have access to it like that. So trust me, there are a lot of people out there that are way better at explaining it than I am.
There always is.
Um, if you're trying to do it for 22 for a vehicle and you can't find what you're looking for on YouTube for 22, search for the exact same thing for 19. Most of it's going to be the same. The in-gaming process is a little bit different, and just download the stuff for 22 instead of the stuff for 19. Like the right Giants editor, the right exporter for Blender. It's not terrible. I mean, unless you want to pay the, what is it, like $5 and some change for the tutorials that Giants put out on their website for modding.
Yeah, I have no clue what it was. I think it's around $5.
Yeah. Giants does most everything in, well, mod wise, in XML and Lewis script, but Lewis script is going to be what everybody refers to as script mods. So like your auto load and stuff like that. Well, at least I reminded you of a classic there, Sparky.
It's true.
Something else I will say, if you're stumped on, like, let's just say you had a trailer. I'm going to use an auger wagon from the base game as an example. Let's say you wanted to make that hold everything and you don't know how to do it. Open up the XML file for something that you know holds everything and look at it. You'll find your answer there.
Yeah, I was quiet, Paul. It has become kind of the caveman modding hour. So I was just giving him an opportunity to relate his information. Billy Azito, good to see you again, man. It's been a while. What's up? And I was saying, and Caveman had said in the past that for $5, the Giants modding tutorials that they put out were actually pretty respectable. Didn't you say that, Caveman? That you
Yes.
felt like they were definitely worth the $5?
I feel like they definitely are worth the $5. Especially because, like, if you buy that, what they're going to do is they're going to walk you through the process of in-gaming basically the Limkin cultivator that we have.
Yeah, that little 5-meter one.
Yes. They're going to hold your hand walking you through in-gaming it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And tweaking it and all that fun stuff. They hold your hand through the whole thing. And I mean, granted, yeah, there are some YouTubers out there that have done better tutorials for 19, but it's directly with 22.
And speaking of modding, I just noticed something that we noticed earlier, and you guys might have picked up on it. This rock collector, if I get too far away from it, well, if my camera would swing out properly, watch what happens to the color on it. See how it turns yellow? It goes back to its base color, but if I pull back up close to it again, I get the color I bought it in.
Oh,
Care to explain why that happens?
Because it is not actually been like the modder didn't actually go in and edit it so that it could be color changeable. He skinned it, which is, you know how, like, if you wrap a car, just add a skin to it?
Yeah.
Basically the same thing, but for a mod. And I gotta go empty this thing, it's full.
Billy, we harvested for the first hour and a half of the stream. Literally. So I don't think you'll be seeing any more harvesting. Well, I know you won't because we don't have any more crop to harvest. But I pulled 103,000 liters of oats off these 2 fields.
Yep.
And now it's field prep time again.
Field prep.
Caveman, would you think it would be easier to mod an industry, a factory, or a piece of equipment?
Are you editing something that already exists, or are you making it from the ground up? Because if you're making it from the ground up, a piece of equipment is going to be probably the easiest. If you're editing stuff, if all you're doing is the XML work, realistically, there's not much, like, difference in difficulty. But kind of really also depends on what you're trying to do.
Well, that's a fair point, Wet Coaster. Caveman is harvesting rocks at the moment.
That's true.
Paul says he'd be making it from the ground up, Caveman.
Well, if you're making something from the ground up, the first thing I would recommend you trying to make, just to give you the easiest and best experience, is try to make a trailer or a cultivator or a plow, something like that.
O'Brien
Um,
Gamer, welcome to the stream. I wasn't missing you. I just hadn't had an opportunity to have a break in conversation. So I try to be polite. Would it be difficult to make a square what, Eddie? I'm not getting that last word. Square bow.
Box?
I mean, when you're just doing primitive shapes, I mean, if you're modeling them in like 3D software, no, O'Brien, I cannot say that word because frankly, it's a non-word that's ridiculous, and I won't do that. Sorry. That's for teenagers. I'm 56 years old.
It is actually in the dictionary, but it's not the term that most people use it for.
Right.
a square baler and wrapper is not going to be that easy. They're
There's
complex.
A lot of processes going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very complex.
Well, we can't plant anything here yet. We've only got one setup to plow and harvest rocks. The train just... Oh, this is... I want to show you guys this. Believe it or not. Well, believe it because it's absolutely true. This was one of the technical difficulties that we had starting off the stream today. Now, anybody who has watched me use this Anderson bale snake wrapper over here, all of these bales are supposed to be wrapped together, and there's generally wrap in between them. For some reason, the game has interpreted these to be individually separate bales now. Now, that would be all fine and well and good, except for the fact that now they're broken. They only say 5,000 liters where they're 6,500 liters. I can't cut the wrap off of them. This is what they're supposed to look like when they come out. And then I could collect these with my bale trailer. Well, bale trailers won't collect these because they don't recognize the bale type. So all of these bales are broken and will have to be destroyed, most likely. Needless to say, I'm not going to allow myself to be cheated out of that much silage. I will find a way to get past that particular break. But lesson learned. I'm not sure how much longer the Anderson's going to stick around. I love it. I actually do love it. But if this is what I can expect, maybe it's not multiplayer compatible. I don't know. But there's probably 80 or 100 bales sitting here that are absolute worthless now. So keep that in mind if you decide to use this guy. Oh, there's still a bale sitting in there. No, we were trying to see if we could like rewrap them or something, and it doesn't work.
It's not.
I just put that bale in there.
Is it Jaffer or Hafer? Thank you so much. I very, very much appreciate you saying so. You are in very good company because a lot of the fine folks in this chat right now started FS19 the same way you did. And I'm so glad I made those videos because they really have helped a lot of people. And they've helped me. I did it at a time when I was still new enough to the game that I kind of still had a feeling for what new players were going to be up against. So I think that helped me cover a lot of ground there. But anyway, that's where it stands. I'm not tripping over my own tongue now.
No, you don't have to have early access for 22. The game is out.
Yeah, the game
came out November 22nd
That's right.
of 2021.
You want to be able to make wrap optional in balers. 3 of them is expensive. I'm an old fart, Marvin. What can I say? Oh, Eddie had the same problem with that wrapper. So I guess we're going to abandon the Anderson wrapper. I wish this hadn't happened because I actually did really enjoy using it, and I find it a unique and interesting method of doing this. But you can't win them all. Needless to say, there's several 100,000 liters of silage here that I'm not going to allow myself to be shorted out of. We've had a hard enough time making money on this map, and a lot of work goes into this many frickin' bales.
I wonder if they'll still sell. No, it'd still sell.
We'll find a way to sort it out. Right, Eric? I don't know if they did some kind of an update or not. I genuinely don't know for sure.
If nobody has reported it on their bug tracker yet.
Okay, maybe we need to report that.
I need to be reported.
My mind is young, Wet Coaster. In my mind, I'm probably about 28 years old. It's just my body that reminds me that I'm being stupid about that. Anyway, guys, we've actually pushed past quite a bit. Can you believe? It feels like we were just getting started, and we're already almost 2.5 hours in. We haven't tried that yet, Marvin. That's going to be the next test. If we can sell these, but they only say 5,000 liters, and they are 6,500. If you can see, this unwrapped one here says, actually, this only says 5,000 liters now too. Maybe because SharCo's standing on it.
If SharCo logs out of the game, they all go back to 6,500.
That's true. Unfortunately, David, I can't start the game in single player because this is on a dedicated server. So, anyway, guys, I think that's going to do it for our time here on Elmcreek. SharCo, Caveman, any final thoughts, words, wisdom you can give to our viewers?
Until Wednesday. See you.
Yeah, see you Wednesday.
We'll be back. Same Harv time, same Harv channel. Anyway, as always, we very much appreciate you coming along for the ride. And until next time, take care.